यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारण परं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। श्रीराम जय जय राम ओम 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 जय जय राम ओम जय राम ओम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om. We had seen the prasanga of the Vivaha of Bhagwan Rama and Sita ji and all the four brothers. Goswamiji also explained the symbolic meaning of this Vivaha. The four avasthas represented by Sita ji and her sisters. They are as though adorning that mandapam, which is the heart of a jiva, along with their avastha abhimanis. So Bhagwan Rama, Bharat ji, Lakshman ji and Shatrugna ji, they are the avastha abhimanis. And all the four avasthas are Sita ji and her sisters. After that, Goswamiji went on to elaborate what all things happened right after this Vivaha was done. Janak Maharaj, his speech after this Vivaha, kind of humility he shows in the words that he uses, and also how one should give something to others. Later on, he invites all of them to his palace. Now dinner is going to happen. That part also we saw. The later part, and even from the time when Janak Maharaj is introduced in Ramayana, all of it is the greatness of a Brahmajnani. How does a Brahmajnani live in this world? That Goswamiji has shown us in and through Janak Maharaj's Charitra. Charitra means what all things he does. How does he speak? How does he live in this world? One whose plates are made up of gold, plates are made up of leaves of gems, and the nails in between, the pins in between are of gold. So much of prosperity. Such a king doesn't hesitate to wash the feet of everybody who has come to his home. This is the reason why Bhagwan Krishna gives Janak Maharaj's example to Arjuna. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadaya. Third chapter, it will come shortly. Bhagwan Krishna says, Arjuna, don't feel that Brahmajnanam and karma, meaning Brahmajnanam and living a cheerful life, happy life, they are against each other. As long as we know how to live, as long as we know what should be the attitude behind every karma, Bhagavan says none of that karma will bind. So that bhava, which is there behind every karma, that is shown through the example of Janak Maharaj. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan did not elaborate, right? He just said, Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadaya. Arjuna, don't quit karma. There have been kings in the past who are very prosperous, very well-to-do. they lived a life of karma yoga. And there is no conflict between living a life of karma yoga and brahmajnanam. This ahankara is badita, it is negated, and vyavahara goes on as it was before. And because it is so beautiful, like Janak Maharaj's, badita ahankara, negated sense of individuality, at mind level also there is lot of joy. So how does a Jivan Mukta live? If you look at Janak Maharaj's Charitra. He lives like, the dust, never noticed, at the same time, nothing can bind him. And none of the other things which are there around him, all the prosperity that Janak Maharaj has, none of it binds Janak Maharaj. So this started all the way when Bhagwan first saw Janak Maharaj, or Janak Maharaj saw Bhagwan. Starting from that point, his charitra is going on, but we should look at it in the context of Bhagavad Gita. Why does Bhagwan Krishna give Janak Maharaj's example to Arjuna? To show that Vyavahara and Brahmajnanam are not opposed to each other. If Vyavahara is beautiful, that ahankara will be mellower. It will be able to make mind as drishya and abide in its own swarupa as ananda. Now after this, all people, after that dinner and everything, they have gone back now. Now what happens in the place where Dashrath Maharaj is staying? So Goswamiji elaborates after 329th Doha. नितनूतन मंगल पुर माही, निमिष सरिस दिन जामिनि जाही। बड़े भोर भूपति मनि जागे, जाचक गुण गण गावन लागे। देखि कुंवर बर बधुन समेता, किमि कहि जात मोदु मन जेता। प्रात क्रिया करिगे गुर पाही, महाप्रमोदु प्रेम मन माही। करि प्रणाम पूजा कर जोरी, बोले गिरा अमिय जनु बोरी। तुम्हारी कृपा सुनहु मुनि राजा, भयउ आजु मैं पूरन काजा। अब सब विप्र बोलाई गोसाई, देहु धेनु सब भांति बनाई। सुनि गुर करि महिपाल बढ़ाई, पुनि पठये मुनि वृंद बोलाई। वामदेव वरुदेव ऋषि, बाल्मीकि जाबाली। आये मुनि बर निकर तब, कौशिकादि तपसाली। दंड प्रणाम सबहि नृप कीन्हे, पूजि सप्रेम बरासन दीन्हे। चारी लक्ष बर देनु मगाए, काम सुरभि समशील सुहाए। सब विधि सकल अलंकृत कीन्हे, मुदित महिप महि देवन दीन्हे। करत विनय बहु विधि नर नाहु, लहिउ आजु जग जीवन लाहु। पाई शीस मही सुअनंदा, लिए बोली पुनि जाचक वृंदा। कनक बसन मनि हय गय स्यंदन, दिए बूझि रुचि रविकुल नंदन। चले पढ़त गावत गुण गाथा, जय 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 दिन कर कुलनाथा। एहि विधि राम बियाहउ छाहु, सकई न बरनि सहस मुख जाहु। बार बार कौशिक चरण, शीशु नाई कहराऊ। यह सब सुख मुनि राज तव, कृपा कटाक्ष पसाऊ। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Now every day, something or the other auspicious would happen. Nita Nutana Mangala Puramahi, Nimisha Sarisadina Jamini Jahi. And time just flied. Day and night would go like seconds. Time just flew by. Because everybody was engrossed in that Ananda. There are different Mahatmas, they give different stories. They say all other people who had come from Ayodhya, everybody found their matches in Mithila Nagari. Even the other people who are there along with Dasharatha Maharaj, all other Rajkumaras who are there. So something or the other auspicious would happen, and they were kept in Mithila Nagari very happy. And one day, Dasharatha Maharaj wakes up, and then all other bards are there. They are singing his Jai Jaikara. And after his daily routine of pujanam, whatever sadhanas he was doing, he does all his nitya karma and then goes to Vasishtha Rishi. He says to Vasishtha Rishi that by your grace alone, I have become fully content. Everything has happened so well. Everything went on so well. This is the first day, after all that program is done and everything. This is what he expresses to Vasishtha Maharshi. Now he says, there is one desire in my heart that I gave so much of dhanam to all the other sadhu mahatmas who are here. Everything I did. But then there are some other rishis who are so virakta, so dispassionate, they will not come if I call. So can you do me a favor? On my behalf, can you call them and give away this dhanam? So many cows are there with all jewelry and everything, decked with gold, all the cows. These cows can you offer to these brahmanas? Vasishtha Rishi is so delighted. He says, Shubhasya Shigram, if an auspicious thought comes like this, you should not delay too much. Suni Gura Kari Mahipala Badai Puni Pathaye Muni Branda Bulai. Fourth Chaupai after 329. So he called all the other rishis. But you notice who are those rishis? Vamadeva Rishi. Deva Rishi means Naradji. Valmiki Rishi and Jabali. All these are great rishis, very virakta. They would not have come otherwise. So Dasharatha Maharaj says to Vasishtha Maharshi, you call them. If you call, nobody can say no. All of them will come. Aye Munibara Nikarataba Kausikadi Tapasadi. All of them came, with this one invitation of Vasishtha Maharshi. How many cows were there? Around 500,000. Okay, 4 lakh cows means roughly around 500,000. First, Dasharatha Maharaj makes all of them seated, gives them all, does their pujanam, and then gives all these cows in dhanam. All of them are very nicely decorated. And this thought is always in his mind that Sukham comes in life only with punya. Sukham means happiness. Life, one of the main goals which is there is happiness. But somebody like Dasharatha Maharaj, somebody like Janak Maharaj, they have understood what is the source of this happiness. And that clarity they have, if happiness has come in our life, it is only because of punya karma. So this occasion went on very well, but we want this sukham also to continue. That is why all this punya karma should keep continuing. This point we had seen earlier also. Why do we do dhanam? So simple thought process was, sukham comes through punya. So whatever opportunity we have for punya, greater the punya, more the sukham. So with that, he is so content that all these Rishi Munis came and they accepted what he had to give them. Now he expresses his special love for Vishwamitra Rishi. 331 Doha. Bara bara kausika charana sisu nai kaharao. Yah sabu sukha muni rajatava krupa kataksha pasao. He remembers the day when Vishwamitra Rishi took Bhagwan Rama and Lakshmanji. He said, there are some Rakshasas who are disturbing my yajna. And that advice which Vasishtha Maharshi had given him, Right? He said he was not ready, Dashrath Maharaj, in the beginning, and Vasishtha Maharshi, he convinces him. So he remembers all of that and says, all this has come in my life, all this happiness has come in my life just by your kataksh drushti. Just by your compassionate look, everything has fallen in place. Yah sab sukh muni raj tava krupa kataksha pasav. Kataksha means side glance, corner of the eye. Vishwamitra Rishi's blessing was there on his entire family. Now Dashrath Maharaj acknowledged the hospitality, whatever emotions or bhava that Janak Maharaj had. He acknowledged all of that. But now he said, Janak Maharaj, it has been almost close to a month now. I am also a king. I have administration to do. There are files which come on my table also. A lot of sanctions I have to do. Entire kingdom of Ayodhya runs. Janak Maharaj would have said, who is there in Ayodhya right now? Everybody is here. Why do you have to go back so early? But Dashrath Maharaj says, now it is time. I have to go back. But no matter how much he tried, Janak Maharaj would not allow him to go. Dina uti bidha avadapati maga rakahi janaku sahita anuraga. But not out of force or something, but out of love. Janak Maharaj did not allow Dashrath Maharaj to go back with so much of love that he had for him, that Dashrath Maharaj also could not say no. So one day more, like this, it continued for almost a month. But how were they kept in Mithila Nagari? Goswamiji writes, second Chaupai after 331. Nita nutana adaru adhikai. They were made to feel special every day. Nita nutana adaru adhikai dina prati sahasa bhati pahunai. Something was fresh in there, in the way that they gave back to these Ayodhyavasis. This is one element of newness. Whenever any sambandha we have, any kind of place wherever we go, if there is prema, if there is love, then that brings this element of newness. Puja Guruji has composed the New Year song, right? Kshanam pratikshanam yan navam navam. That may every moment be something new to look forward to, something new to give between any sambandha. Only when there is this mutual understanding, mutual prema is there, then there is this desire to give something different, give something new. That is why we have more value for, or we feel more closer, more special when somebody does something handmade. Right? Mother's Day, Father's Day. A simple note done with the hand is more sweeter than a store-bought one, just writing the name. Why? Because if you do something new, it needs time, it needs effort, it needs creativity. Even it's a small child doing something with hand, right? So that is a different sweetness. That is an expression of that love. So Mithila Vasis, they made sure that all Ayodhya Vasis, they felt very special. Every day there was something new. Nitanutana adaru adhikai. And nobody wanted to talk about them going back. Dasarata Gavanus Sohai na Kahu. Dashrath Maharaj has to go back one day. That thought also nobody wanted to have. That much of love was there between people who had come and these Mithila Vasis. Goswamiji says they were all tied up. Who were tied up? Ayodhya Vasis, including Dashrath Maharaj. What were they tied up with? Bahuta divasa bite ehi bhati janu saneha raju bandhe barati. They were tied with the rope of love. Janak Maharaj and his entire Mithila Vasis, yatha raja tatha praja. How he must have trained everybody, That is his signature actually. That actually, if we visit a kingdom, if we visit a city, our impression of that city or that place is more about what experience we have with the people there. Right? King, one experience might be there, but the king has trained everybody that all Ayodhya Vasis are feeling special and they're feeling loud in Mithila Nagari. Now all Guru Janas are there. Vasishtha Maharshi is there, Vishwamitra Rishi is there, Shatanandji is there. They call Janak Maharaj and tell him, you are a king, you should understand he is also a king. But you have a lot of sneha, you have a lot of love, but now please allow him to go back. So from this point onwards, is everybody getting ready to go back from Mithila Nagari to Ayodhya? So give him permission to go back. They have stayed here for a sufficiently long time. If Guru says, Janak Maharaj doesn't say anything. When there is no questioning after that, he says, as you say, that will be my command. So he calls his minister, and that minister quickly comes. Bale hi naat kahi sachiva bulaye, kahi jaya jeev sees tina naaye. The way of greeting the king was by saying Jai Jeev. Later, Sumantraji also greets Dashrath Maharaj by saying Jai Jeev. Like how we say Mr. President, right? Or His Excellency, Her Excellency. So title of the king in those days was Jai Jeev. Minister comes and Janak Maharaj tells, go and announce in the palace everywhere that Dashrath Maharaj is getting ready to leave now. Hearing this, the minister himself breaks down. He himself has so much of love for Dashrath Maharaj and everybody who had come. Even this thought that everything is going to end now, they are going to go back. That thought also they cannot bear. Janak Maharaj is emotional. Everybody is, thinking about what will we do now? Everybody is going to go back. All citizens, their heart shrunk like a lotus shrinks in the evening. Everybody is thinking, how is this going to end now? What will we do when everybody goes back? Now, Janak Maharaj, even in the midst of all these emotions, his planning is so thorough. Means Viveka is always alert, Janak Maharaj. Now he knows that this procession has to go back to Ayodhya. In between, wherever they had halted on their way to Ayodhya, on their way to Mithila, all those places he stocks up. He stocks up with all the food items that they would need, cooked food items and raw food items. Means that they can make it over there and eat. And those food items which they can eat right away. This is the second chaupai after 332. Jaha jaha avat base barati taha taha siddha chala bahu bhati. Wherever these Ayodhya Vasis they had stopped while coming to Mithila, all those places he makes sure they have sufficient things, whatever they need on their way back. Karma Yogi, how they are. Mukta Sangha Samachara. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yogi doesn't mean somebody who does things half-heartedly, just drops things in between. So Mukta Sangha, he is very detached from that work, at the same time Samachara, doing it very well, very meticulously. Bibida Bhati Meva Pakvana. Meva Pakvana means cooked food and those things which they will need to cook. Both of those things he sends. Bhojana Sajana Jai Bakana. What all things he sent, you cannot describe. Along with that, he also sends, lot of other, gold, other items, horses, all decorated, all ornamented horses, different chariots, 10,000 elephants he sends. And some of it, he already directly sends it to Ayodhya. He says, if I give it to Dashrath Maharaj, he will again distribute. He's known for giving. So some part I should directly send there. So at least he will get something over there. Means if there is contentment in the heart and love for the other person, there is nothing but giving. And now, different emotions in Mithila Nagari. All this planning is going on from Janak Maharaj's side, but all the other queens, they come to know that Bhagwan and Dashrath Maharaj, they are getting to leave now. Sita ji and all her sisters, they are also going to go along with Dashrath Maharaj. So they also feel very sad, as though it is that fish, how it feels with less water. Water has not completely dried up, otherwise it will not survive. Goswami gives that analogy there. Bikala meena gana janu lagu pani. First chaupai after 333. How this fish lives with little water, how it feels, how anxious it feels. Like that, all the queens are feeling on hearing this news that Dashrath Maharaj and Sita ji, Bhagwan Rama, everybody is going back to Ayodhya. Now they bless both of them and say, may your grahastha ashrama be very fruitful. May you have a long life. All of those blessings they give. But how will it come? How will this grahastha ashrama be very, fruitful and happy? It will only be by serving. Sasu sasura gura seva karehu, pati raku laki ayasu anusarehu. Thinking more about what is my dharma, how I can keep everybody together. And this freedom is completely there in our hand. What experiences they will have in the in-laws' house, the experiences which come, they are not in your hand. But doing dharma and being sincere from our side, queens tell Sita ji and all other sisters, her sisters, that this part of following dharma, that is fully in your control. Now everybody is overwhelmed by emotions, and Bhagwan finally goes back to Janak Maharaj's place. Now he's going back to that palace to take permission now. He says, Janak Maharaj, my father has decided now, we have to go back to Ayodhya. So what does he do there? That part let us chant after 334th Doha. Chari ubhaye subhaye suhaye vip nagar nari nar dekhan dhaye ko kah chalan chahat hai ajo kin habideha vida kar sajo लेहु नयन भरी रूप निहारी प्रिय पाहुने भूप सुत चारी को जाने के ही सुकृत सयानी नयन अतिथि कीन्हे विधियानी मरण सीलु जिमि पाव पीयूषा सुरत रुलहे जन्म कर भूखा पावनार की हरि पदु जैसे इन कर दर्शनु हम कह तैसे निरखि राम शोभा उर धरेऊ निज मन फनि मूरति मनि करेऊ एहि विधि सब ही नयन फलु देता गए कुंवर सब राजनिकेता रूप सिंधु सब बंधु लखी हर्षि उठार निवासु करहि निछावरी आरती महामुदित मनसासु देखि राम छवि अति अनुरागी प्रेम विबस पुनि पुनि पद लागी रही न लाज प्रीति उर छाई सहज सनेहु बरनि किमि जाई भाई न सहित उबटि अनहवाई छरस असन अति हे तुझे वाये बोले राम सुअवसरु जानी सील स्नेह सकुचमय बानी राउ अवधपुर चहत सिधाये विदा हो न हम इहाँ पठाये मातु मुदित मन आय सुदेहु बालक जानि करब नित नेहु सुनत बचन बिलखे उर निवासु बोली न सकहि प्रेम बस सासु हृदय लगाई कुंवरी सब लीन्हे पति न सौंपी बिनती अति कीन्हे करि विनय सिय राम ही समर्पि जोरि कर पुनि पुनि कहे बलि जाऊ तात सुजान तुम कहूँ विदित गति सब की यह परिपार पुरजन माहि राजहि प्राण प्रिय सिय जानि भी तुलसी ससीलु सनेह लखि निज किंकरी करि मानि भी तुम परिपूरन काम जान शिरोमणि भाव प्रिय जन गुण गाहक राम दोष दलन करुणायतन सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय चारियु भाई सुभाए सुहाए नगर नारी नर देख न धाये. All the citizens of Mithila Nagari, hearing that Bhagwan Rama is headed towards Janak Maharaj's palace, remembering that time when they first saw Bhagwan, when he went out to do Mithila Darshan. Overpowered by that love, everybody rushes to Janak Maharaj's palace, just to see Bhagwan's glimpse one more time before everybody heads back to Ayodhya. And then they wonder what punya we had done, that these punyas brought Bhagwan to us. लेहु नयन भरे रूप निहारी प्रिय पाहुने भूप सुतचारी को जाने के ही सुकृत सयानी नयन अतिथि किन्हे विधि आनी. What kind of punya karma it was that it brought Bhagwan as the guest to our eyes. Nayana Atithi. English translation is not as sweet, but the Avadhi is very sweet. Nayana Atithi keen hai vidhi ani. What was our punya karma? That we had darshan of Bhagwan. How has our life become after getting this darshan, after becoming devoted to Bhagwan? Getting darshan of Bhagwan is not only one physical eye. Means not only seeing Bhagwan through physical eyes, but getting this ashraya buddhi in Bhagwan. Getting this conviction that if I need anything in my life, my Bhagwan is always here to take care of it. And with that, this sadhaka becomes nischinta. Tuma rakshaka kahu ko darana. Like that, all these Mithilavasis have become with devotion to Bhagwan, expressing as their darshan of Bhagwan. So they say, how is our life become now? Marana silu jimu pau piyusha. Just like somebody who is very thirsty and almost about to give up his body gets water. Surataru lahe janama kara bhuka. Somebody who is very hungry, from a long time, if that person gets kalpa vruksha, whatever he desires, that will be fulfilled. How that person would feel. Pava naraki haripadu jaise. Somebody who was in Naraka, he finds the lotus feet of Bhagwan, Haripada. That joy, what all these people would feel, that joy we are feeling today. Inakara darasano hama kahu taise. Right from the time we saw both of them until today, everything in our life has been auspicious, happy, and cheerful. All of them are just going in samadhi, looking at Bhagwan's form, reveling in Bhagwan's form, as though everybody is taken in a trance. Now Sitaji's mother, Sunaina ji, and all her co-sisters, everybody is doing this arati now. They are also overpowered by emotions, looking at Bhagwan, who has come to ask for permission to take Sitaji and head back to Ayodhya. Now they are so much in love and devotion to Bhagwan that they just fall at his feet. Although they know that he is our son-in-law, but in their heart they know he is the Lord of the universe. All their words represent that. But so much of love is there. It's a very mixed emotions. On one hand, there is puja bhava. On the other hand, there is so much of love for Bhagwan. And overpowered by that devotion, they do all those things which has already been done before. Means they make Bhagwan sit, they make him wear that sandalwood, not sandalwood, turmeric, everything. And then again they bathe him, do his pujanam. Now all these things have already been done, but right now it is only prema bhava. Like how in Vidurji's house, Sulabha, Vidurji's wife, she was feeding Bhagwan the peel. Banana, she was peeling it and then feeding Bhagwan the peel, overpowered by that love. Like this mother of Sita ji, Sunaina ji, and all other queens, they are doing those things which has already been done, which should not be done at this point, but just overpowered by that love. And then they feed Bhagwan, with all shadrasas, means food which has 6 rasas, different delicacies and everything. Now you look at Bhagwan's sensitivity. This is the second chaupai after 335. Bole Ram Suav Sarujani, Sila Saneha Sakuchamaya Bani. He knows that everything is so joyous, everything is, happening in a flow as though. So he doesn't immediately ask for permission. Looks for the right time. Bole Ramu Suav Sarajani. Waits for the right time. And then he says, now I need permission to take Sita ji, and all of us are going to head back to Ayodhya. And listening to that, of course, they knew it, but that emotions again, they get overwhelmed, and everybody is embracing Sita ji and all other daughters who are going to go away to Ayodhya. Now Sunaina ji speaks for the first time. Previously, Goswami ji said she adorned Janak Maharaj during the wedding time, just like Himavan and Maina ji, they were sitting together, the parents of Parvati ji. Only that much was given. But now Sunaina ji, she speaks. She says that I know you are the Lord of the universe, to Bhagwan Rama. So I surrender myself to you first. Please accept me as a devotee. And then she says, Sita ji is very dear to all of us. Parivara Purajana Mohi Rajahi Prana Priya Siya Jani Gaye. Sita ji is not only dear to me, she is dear to both of us. She is dear to entire Mithila Nagari. So please make sure that you take very good care of her. And also accept her, and she will do all seva and serve. That much of samskaras, all of them, both of them have given Sita ji. Tulasi susilu saneha lakinija kinkari kari manipi. Kinkari means one who is always looking at other person's emotions. Kinkari. Kinkari means what should I do now? That person thinks and then does it. Kinkari. And what is Bhagwan's nature? Sunaina ji is telling Bhagwan Rama that Bhagwan, I know you. You are the Lord of the universe. Jana guna gahaka Rama dosha dalana karunayatana. That Bhagwan only takes gunas in sadhakas. And whatever dosha, limitations are there, that he leaves aside. Guna means good qualities. So Bhagwan's nature is this, knowing that, please shower your grace on our daughter. And saying this, she just holds on to Bhagwan's feet and just falls at his feet. Now Bhagwan asks, permission now again to leave with folded hands, head bowed down. And all other brothers, they are also there. They are also in the same, bhava. Now this is a very interesting mix of emotions. On one side there is joy, another side it is overpowered by this emotion of separation. And these queens, they are meeting Sita ji, embracing her. All other daughters are also there. They go certain distance and then again meet, again embrace. Then go a little bit further and again they're embracing each other. Goswamiji writes, how was that? Drushya. Puni puni milata sakina bilagai, bala bachcha jimi dhenu lavai. Just like a calf which is getting separated from its mother. Like that, all of them were going towards this place now where everybody has to get ready to go back to Ayodhya. It looked as though this emotion of parting, it has come and made Mithila Nagari as its home. Manahu Keena Bidehapura Karuna Biraha Nivasu, 337. That Mithila Nagari has now just become the abode or the home for this Viraha. Goswamiji is now that expression. It's very difficult prasanga even to read it, but the way he writes it. How was the Viraha Agni in? How was that emotion of separation there in Mithila Nagari? Vyakula kahahi kaha baidehi suni dhiraju pahirahi na kehi. Sita ji had parrots. She had taken care of them, trained them, and had so much of love for those birds. These parrots started asking, where is Vaidehi? No, I don't see her here. Where is Vaidehi? And Goswami is listening to this. Nobody could hold back their emotions. Sunidhi Raju Pariharayina Kehi. This parrot started asking, where is Vaidehi? Where is Sita ji? And he says, if birds and animals felt that way, imagine how other Mithilavasis would have felt without Sita ji and all the four, her other sisters also. Now Janak Maharaj, he comes with his brother, Kushaketu. His daughters are also there. And Goswamiji again writes one more chaupai. He says, Siya bilo ki dhirata bhagi rahe kahavata parama biragi. Third chaupai after 337. Looking at Sita ji getting ready to leave, Janak Maharaj, who was Paramajnani and Parama Viragi, one who knows that Sambandha is only with body. From Sharira standpoint only there is all Sambandha, right? As this pure consciousness, there is no Sambandha. This knowledge is very clear in his heart, has lot of Vairagya. Leena Raya Ura Laya Janaki Miti Mahamara Jada Gyanaki. That he went and embraced Sita ji as though to show to the world that Jnani is not dry in his emotions. Brahmajnanam and emotions, they are also not at conflict. Right? Whenever it is Vyavahara, according to that situation, appropriate emotions are in their place. This is an oft quoted chaupai. Siya bilo ki dhirata bhagi rahe kahavata parama biragi. How does a Jivan Mukta live? Like Janak Maharaj. All emotions are in their own place, at the same time, not completely swayed away by them. Now, Videharaj Janak, all other ministers are convincing him or consoling him. Samujhavata saba sachiva sayane keenha bicharuna avasara jane. He said, this is not the occasion to have too much of sorrow. Little bit is okay. And with that, he composes himself and then calls all the palanquins. Now, Sita ji is going to get in all of them. Although he is very emotional, his viveka is in the, very, very alert. So he invokes Bhagwan Ganesha. And then, one by one, Sita ji and all other queens, all her sisters, they are getting inside this palanquin. Now, while they are getting in, Janak Maharaj again teaches her about dharma. What is your duty when you go there? Think about giving, not about getting. Bahubidhi bhupa suta samujhai nari dharam kulariti sikhai. There the traditions might be different. So make sure that you adapt very well. Blend into whatever tradition is there. All of it will come back as joy and happiness. And then whatever other helpers and servers were there, Janak Maharaj sends all of them along with Sita ji. And whoever Sita ji wanted, whoever was her particular sevakas who are there, Janak Maharaj sends all of them along with Sita ji to Ayodhya. Now citizens, of course, are sad, and all of them are as though coming along with this procession now. Janak Maharaj also starts And then Dashrath Maharaj from his side, he is also getting ready. All music and everything, all the drums, they get played. And Janak Maharaj also invokes Ganesh Bhagwan and all the siddhis which are there. And they start their journey, procession. Janak Maharaj is as though walking, along with this entire procession. And Dashrath Maharaj started by taking Bhagwan Ganesha's blessings and also Vishwamitra Rishi and all other Rishi Munis who are there. The dust of their feet, that he takes, and he says, now we have to go back. So please bless us that may this journey also be auspicious without any obstacles. And that dust of the feet he puts on his head and then starts his journey. This is the Chaupaya above 339. Charana Saroja Dhuri Dhari Sisa Mudita Mahipati Pai Asisa. Looking at the Shraddha and devotion of both these kings, all Devatas, they start showering flowers. Now Dashrath Maharaj, he looks behind, all Mithilavasis are again coming along with him. So he turns back and says, all of you please go back. Whatever you have done was so good. We are very grateful for all this hospitality, and gives lot of gifts and everything. And with lot of love, tries to send them back. And all of them with a heavy heart, but with lot of contentment in their heart, many of them return. But Janak Maharaj, he is just not ready to turn back. Dashrath Maharaj again and again is telling him, but he is just coming along with him wherever this procession is going ahead now. So Dashrath Maharaj finally stops the entire procession and gets down. He gets down and folds his hands and then talks to Janak Maharaj. This is the Chaupai above 340th Doha. Taba bideha bole kara jori bachana saneha sudha janu bori. It is said, all our transactions, right, whatever vyavahara we do, it has only two elements in it. One is purity of our heart. With what bhava we are doing our vyavahara. And the second is how we speak. Okay, only two things. Shabda ucharanam, that is vyavahara. Shabda ucharanam is how this sadhaka speaks. And manaspruha. What is this bhavana in the heart? If both things are purified, entire vyavahara is auspicious, entire vyavahara is purified. These topics Bhagavan takes up in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where everything is pointed out as a tapasya. Right? So that is why every place that we see, how they are speaking, what is their bhava inside. Both these points Goswamiji elaborates. So how is Dashrath Maharaj speaking to Janak Maharaj? Karau kavana bidhi binaya banai, maharaja mohi deen hi badhai. You see, Janak Maharaj, you have given us so many things, and we are very, very grateful for whatever you have given us. He also knows Janak Maharaj has so much of love in his heart, right? So he cannot just scold him to go back. So with that bhava, making sure that the right message is communicated. With that, he embraces Janak Maharaj. And now Janak Maharaj also bows down to all the sages. He embraces all the four brothers who are, there. All of them have gotten down from that palanquin, from that procession. And now Janak Maharaj does a beautiful stuti. Okay, this I think we should chant. I don't know if we'll have time, but this is the second Chaupai after 340. जोरी पंकरुह पानी सुहाये बोले बचन प्रेम जनु जाये राम करौ के ही भांति प्रशंसा मुनि महेश मन मानस हमसा करहि जोग जोगी जहि लागे कोहु मोहु ममता मधु त्यागे व्यापकु ब्रह्मु अलखु अविनाशी चिदानंदु निर्गुण गुण राशि मन समेत जेहि जानन बानी तरकिन सकहि सकल अनुमानी महिमा निगमु नेति कहि कहई ज्योति हूँ काल एक रस रहई नयन विषय मोकहु भयऊ सो समस्त सुख मूल सबई लाभु जग जीव कहा भय सनुकूल सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। राम करो की ही भांति प्रशंसा मुनि महेश मन मानस हमसा। He is telling to Bhagwan Rama with folded hands that Bhagwan, I don't look at you only as my son-in-law. I know your greatness, I know your glory. You are that all-pervading Bhagwan who is having that infinite power. One who revels in the mind of Lord Shiva. Muni Mahesa Mana Manasa Hamsa. In that Manasarovara lake, you are that swan bird. करहि जोग जोगी जहि लागी कोहु मोहु ममता मधु त्यागी. You are that supreme-most altar, supreme-most goal, because of whom all yogi munis, they leave everything and do so much of tapasya. You are all-pervading, Vyapaku Brahma, Alaku Abhinasi. You are infinite Brahman, and you cannot be indicated by any attributes. In your own Swarupa, you are Nirguna. Alaku means Alaksha. All Lakshanas are superimposed in you. It is only to shift attention from conditioning to that substratum. In your own form, you are Alaksha. Abhinashi, you are infinite and you are indestructible. Chidanandu Nirguna Gunarasi. You are Chaitanya Swarupa, but you are Nirguna in your essential nature. But when you take avatara with Maya conditioning, with all exalted conditioning, you are the abode of all gunas. And in and through your charitra, in and through the time that you have spent in Mithila Nagari, I got to see all of that. Mana sameta jahi janana bani. Bhagwan, I know your glory. You are the one whom this mind cannot know. Speech cannot reveal, sense organs cannot illumine. Tarakina sakahi sakala anumani. We cannot use logic also. Nyaya Darshana uses logic to establish Ishvara. Vedanta says Ishvara is Nitya Paroksha. Right? Always immediate. Our own Swarupa is Bhagwan's nature. Chaitanya can never be different from me. So why do we need Anumana over there? We can use Anumana, it is helpful, but that is not our main pramana. Mahima nigamu neti kahi kahi, jyotihu kala ekarasu rahi. You are that pure consciousness which all the Shruti mantras and Upanishads reveal by negation. Neti neti, with that you are revealed, and you remain same in all three periods of time. Meaning time is an appearance in you. Nayana Vishaya Mo Kahu Bhayavu So Samasta Sukhamula. That same Nirguna Brahma, which never, is known even through this mind, sense organs, and everything, that has become an object of my knowledge. Meaning that Ananda, Brahman is not objectifying Brahman. That Ananda of Brahma I have gained by your darshan. Mind has become so pure that this knowledge is shining so clearly in my heart. And he says, if Bhagwan is happy, everything is good in our life, nothing is impossible. Sabai labhu jagat jiva kaha bhaye isa anukula. If Bhagwan is pleased, whatever we want, all of it one can get. But the only condition there is being devoted to Bhagwan and making sure that he is pleased with us. And now Janak Maharaj is just praising Bhagwan. He says, Bhagwan, you gave me this glory and you accepted me. People sing my glory. And you also quote in Bhagavad Gita again, Astita Janakadaya. In Krishna Avatara, right? Bhagwan only quotes him. But he says it is only to give. It is your nature that you give reverence to your devotees. And Janak Maharaj is telling, I'll mention one point with all my experience, whatever I have learned, whatever I have understood about your nature. मैं कछु कहूं एक बल मोरे. On the strength of my experience, I will tell one thing. Tumari jahu sanehu suti thore. Bhagwan's nature is such that even with little bit of devotion, he is pleased. It's a very soothing statement for all sadhakas, for all devotees. Sometimes we feel there have been such great devotees, right? So deep in their devotion. Mirabai, Goswami Tulsidas Ji. And our devotion is nothing compared to what they had. What you say what Janak Maharaj is saying over here? Bhagwan's nature is such that even with little bit of devotion, he is pleased. Tumari jahu saneha suti thore. This is the second chaupai after 341. And now he is asking, Bhagwan, I have only one desire, that may my mind never leave your lotus feet. Meaning, after having abided in this Chaitanya Swarupa, may this mind again not go back to Vishayas. That Chaitanya is symbolized by Bhagwan's feet. And now Bhagwan embraces Janak Maharaj just like his own father. How he did for Dashrath Maharaj, just like that he embraces Janak Maharaj. And then there is so much of love between all of them. Janak Maharaj then goes to all the brothers, embraces all of them. And now again, Bhagwan gets in the chariot, the palanquins and all are ready to go. And then Janak Maharaj again goes, takes the dust of Vishwamitra Rishi's feet and then puts it on his head, remembers all those things which Vishwamitra Rishi has done for Janak Maharaj. Earlier it was Dashrath Maharaj remembering, now it is Janak Maharaj remembering. And he says to Vishwamitra Rishi, if your grace is there, everything is auspicious in my life. And having said that, with lot of heavy heart, all the other procession goes and they finally reach Ayodhya. Beach beach abara bas kari, magalo gana sukha deta, avada sameep punita dina, pahuchi ai janeta. In between giving lot of joy to everybody whom they met on the way, this entire procession is reaching Ayodhya. We will give them some time to reach. They're almost there. We'll take a break. We won't have our class tomorrow and also on Wednesday. Tomorrow morning Vedanta Sara and evening Sanskritam class will not be there. Wednesday evening Ramcharitmanas also will take a break. Tomorrow we have our Shivaratri program. May Bhagwan be pleased with us. That chaupai what we just saw it. Sabai labu jagajiva kaha bhai isu anukula. So throughout the day we will take Om Namah Shivaya, Nama Japa we will do. Evening we'll have our puja from 7:30. Before that we have Swaranjali bhajans and other Nama Sankirtanam. We'll continue until that point. Hope all of you can come at least once during the day. If not evening, then morning. If not morning, then evening. Okay, looking forward to it. We'll do our Nama Sankirtanam. Today we will take Om Namah Shivaya, Nama Japa we will do. It starts playing. Aganita Guna Gana Bhushan Rama, Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama, Ayodhya Vasi Sita Rama, Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama, Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama, Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama, Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama, Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama, पाप विमोचन श्री रामा, पट्टाभिरामा जय जय रामा। जानकी वल्लभ सीता रामा, जय रघुरामा जय सीता रामा। वानर सेवित श्री रामा, वारिधि बंधन जय जय रामा। हनुमत पूजित सीता रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। रघुपति राघव राजा रामा, पतित पावन सीता रामा। श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। See you all tomorrow at 7 a.m.